How's it going, everybody? My name is Masih, and I want to welcome you to the very first episode of my Journey to Elden Ring series. If you don't know what the journey is, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Pretty much that leads you to my previous video in which I go in more detail about what I'm going to be doing in the series. But TLDR, or TLDW in this case, I'm pretty much going to go through every single Soulsborne game that has been released before the release of Elden Ring in a guide slash walkthrough slash commentary manner. I want to try my best to cover everything so that I can help people who are either Souls veterans that are missing a couple of trophies, or they are simply Souls beginners and need a helping hand in their first playthroughs. And yeah, with that long intro out of the way, we're going to get into the gameplay. One more thing that I do have to mention about my selection of the order of the games is that I'm going to go with the games based on their original release, not their remade slash remastered versions, and that's why exactly I'm starting with Demon Souls Remake, even though it was released, it was pretty much the most recent release, it was 2020. But yeah, that's it. Let's begin. So with the class, I decided to go for the Royalty class because a bunch of reasons, obviously, but for me, I just prefer to play magic build in this remake because it's just more fun for me. I just enjoy it a little bit more, and it's just what I prefer. But I do also like doing the strength build with crushing claymore and the dragon bone smasher, but I feel like it's a bit boring for now, so I'm going to go for magic. Pretty much I prefer a certain build in every single Souls game, like for example going on Sellsword Twin Blades or Wind Blades, pretty much easy win on Dark Souls 3, it's just more fun, or going for Ultra Great Swords in Dark Souls 2 because, as I said, it's just pretty fun. Or even the Baldur Swag Sword, I really like the Baldur Swag Sword from Dark Souls 1. But yeah, anyway, as I said, I just like this, so for the magic build, always go for Royalty. It just starts with a better spell and better items compared to Magician, and not only that, it's just more fun, let's be honest. But if you want to do other builds like Temple Knight or for strength or Wanderer for dexterity, you can do that, but for me, Royalty is just more fun. Plus, as I said, easy win, right? Anyway, with the gift, I decided to go for Providential Ring for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because it raises item discovery. The second thing is that all the other gifts are consumables and you will lose them after a while. And the last one, obviously, being that it plays into the King of Rings trophy, which is a part of the Platinum trophy. So you don't have to grind for the ring if you want to go for all the trophies. You can just get it now. And I'm pretty sure you have noticed that I made my character an extremely pretty woman. And the reason for that is simply because, you know, what kind of a gamer are you if you don't make your avatar a hot lady, you know? But yeah, anyway, respect Batman. And let's begin. I'm going to be skipping to cinematics because everybody's seen all the cinematics and the stories and such, so it's, yeah, it's pretty done. The game's a year old at this point, so no problem with that. The very first thing I want to do is switch my Silver Catalyst and put it on my left hand because I would like to be able to have both my weapons out at the same time. It's just more interactive, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to get into the tutorial, and there isn't really much to it, if I'm being honest. These Draglings are pretty easy to kill. They're pretty passive, and this is pretty much here for more beginner players that do not know the mechanics. So if you're a beginner, read these messages on the ground and you will be learning the buttons and such, the controls. But if you're using this Royalty class, I mean, just look at this, it's just ridiculous. I'm one-shotting everything. That's why Royalty class is just so infamous, I guess, because it's just way too strong. We're going to go as fast as possible here and pick up the Crescent Moongrass and press circle here so we vault over. This vaulting mechanic in Demon Souls is very inconsistent because some places just clearly look like they can be vaulted over, but nope. The game, it's just what the devs decide and what they don't decide, so it's a bit weird, but it is what it is. The game is still beautiful and it's pretty fun to play. But I wish it had more places to vault over. I think even Blue Point added a couple places you can vault over, but not possible. Not that much, at least. Anyway, before proceeding on to the next area, come over here and pick up the Moongrass. Also, I do have to mention that if you have lost some health while fighting here, do not use your healing items, do not waste them, because once you use the Archstone to get teleported to the next area, you will regenerate your health. So, it's pretty handy. once you arrive over here, we come to the second part of this area, the tutorial area, and the enemies here will be a little bit more aggressive and have more health. It's just the game's way of teaching you about, you know, different types of enemies and such. And immediately they throw you into a blue-eyed knight, which for new players it might be a little bit difficult to deal with, but for us, I'm going to give you two solutions in order to deal with them easily. The first one being keep your shield up and strafe behind them while they attack, so you can get a backstab off, like this. Once you get the backstab off, they're pretty much dead. I mean, look at his health bar, it's pathetic. A blue-eyed boy. And the second way is to parry them. I prefer the second method. It's more reliable and does more damage, and plus it looks cooler. There we go. Although my hand did go through his entire body for some reason. I went Doctor Strange on his ass, but yeah. One thing that I do have to mention, if you get your catalyst out, you have more mana, or MP as people call it in this game. The mana bar is the blue bar on the top left. So be sure to have your catalyst up, because with the fragrant ring that we have over here as a starting class gift, starting class ring in general, we have the passive mana regen. Go behind this archer before looting the loot. Looting the loot, yes, that's a word, that's a sentence that I just said. And yeah, good to go. I call that bar mana because I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, so any blue bar to me in any game really is just mana bar. So I do apologize if anybody doesn't like me calling them mana bars. One more thing I do have to mention before we get into the next part, but before that I'm going to say turn right to go pick up some loot. And there will be one more dude behind us that we're going to be dealing with. So there's a lot of construction going on behind my house, and a lot of people might not like hearing those noises. I do apologize if you hear any noises, but yeah, try your best if you can to find it in your heart to bear with me. But anyway, now we're going to get into the first boss. This boss is a tutorial boss, obviously, and it has two things. The main role of this guy is to kick your ass and send you back to the Nexus. But if you do kill him, since you only can try him once, you have only one attempt to kill him. If you do kill him, you will be sent to a hidden zone with a bunch of goodies. Although if you die, you do get to rematch him, so don't worry. But no more goodies for you if you fail here. The very first thing you're going to do is immediately rush behind him, because he is a big boy, and big boys, you can have their asses pretty much smacked. Like, look at this, I mean, that's the golden rule with playing Souls games. It's just, you know, if you see a big boss, smack that butt. Simple as that. We're going to do exactly what I said. I'm going to strafe, and every time he goes up, you can be sure to keep your distance so you don't get smashed by his absolutely massive butt, and you're good to go. Even though the game is a 2020 remake, the AI is pretty simple, honestly. Like, there isn't much to the AI, as you can see. We're pretty much playing against 2009 AI. But yeah, strafe and attack, strafe and attack, strafe and attack. That's all you want to do. Although we will run out of mana, so we have to switch to our melee weapon for a little bit until it regenerates, but until then, we're good to go. Even if you don't roll, most of the time you can just strafe behind him and avoid all his attacks. I'm going to get my poking needle out in a second. I'm going to poke his butt now instead of burning his butt. There we go. Honestly, with the dimensions of my weapon, I feel like I shouldn't even be damaging this guy's fat ass, but I guess it is what it is. There we go. And now he's going up again. I think he should be done. Oh, okay, I need to poke his butt a little bit more. There we go. Once you've killed him, you're pretty much gonna get rewarded very handsomely for it. We're gonna get a couple of healing items, a couple of upgrade materials, and a bunch of souls, so it's pretty good. And one more item that we can pick up from the next hidden zone, which is called the Unknown Egress, is called the Iron Helm. It's an item that Bluepoint added into the game, I believe, because people were not satisfied with the fluted knight armor helmet design of the 2020 remake, so they thought that it needed to be more like the original, and they delivered. I just love companies like this because, you know, they listen to the players, you know. Something that has been missing from the game industry for a while now. I mean, look at Blizzard. look at them, seriously. Anyway, depressing stuff aside, I'm going to pick up the Heartstone and Sharpstone shards, go pick up some Renowned Warrior Soul, and get absolutely demolished by this Chad of a man, or dragon, I guess. This guy is called Dragon God. His job is pretty much here to pretty much smack our ass and, yeah, send us back to the Nexus. We got the karma that we needed from smacking the Vanguard demons, but anyway, so once we get teleported to the Nexus, we are done with the tutorial, and this is going to be our hub area. There are a couple of mechanics in this game which are pretty much called the tendency events that I have to explain in this video as to not take time from other videos, because I want to be as efficient as possible, and since this video is already pretty short right now, I can add this stuff in, the tendency mechanic stuff, to explain it to people who either don't know or are trying to learn it. If you already do know the mechanics, feel free to skip to the next video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But if you're still here and you're waiting for me to explain the mechanics, well, let's get into it. But before that, I'm going to go very quickly and talk to the NPC boys over here. Like Paul Thomas, he's going to be our bank. This game, unlike other Souls games, has a pretty much an inventory limit about how much you can carry, so you have to send your stuff or give your stuff back to this guy. The thing is, in the 2020 remake, they did add an option of you being able to send stuff back to him without being here, which is very convenient, because in the old version you couldn't, and it would be it was pretty hard to do. You had to walk all the way to him to give your stuff back, but now we're just going to send it to storage and be done with it. The other guy that we have over here is going to be Blacksmith Baldwin. This guy is the basic blacksmith, so he doesn't really give you anything. You can't get boss weapons from this guy, or, for example, specific scaling weapons from this guy. You can just upgrade the basic versions of the basic weapons. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing, because if you remember, we killed the Vanguard demon, got some goodies. One of the goodies was Sharpstone Shard, and Sharpstone Shard is used to upgrade the rapier. There we go. Now we're going to be even stronger once we go to the first zone. But with that out of the way, the reason I'm exhausting all the dialogue is because I just feel more comfortable exhausting every single one of them, since I have OCD about this a little bit. We talked to the depressed boy that is probably going to be in Elden Ring too. I swear to God, every Souls game has had a depressed boy. Maybe except Bloodborne and Sekiro, I guess. But they're not really Souls games. They are Souls games, they don't have souls in their name. Anyway, so with that out of the way, I guess we are ready to explain the mechanics, so let's get into it. The very basic thing that you can see here is that we are in soul form. Soul form is the opposite of body form, and in soul form we have half our health, as you can see on the top left. On the red bar, we have half our health, and that is the main punishment for it. But to take your body back, you have to either kill a boss, so kill a demon or vanquish a demon, and demons are pretty much bosses. I just want to remind you, so you can't just get it back by killing normal demons. And either that, or use a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, which is a consumable that you can pick up or loot from certain enemies and such. But it is a limited consumable, so you do have to be careful about how many you use. And so that's getting your body back. But what do these things do? What is the difference between soul form and body form? Well, the way that they come into play, other than having the half health bar, is in terms of tendency, pretty much world tendency and character tendency. So what are these? I'm going to explain the world tendencies first, and then character tendencies. Each world has a certain tendency bar, in a way, and those bars are kind of shown by the eye that you can see at the very bottom. All of them at the moment, just like this one, are showing neutral. That means they're neither black nor white. Now, what do I mean by these? So you can go up tendencies and down tendencies by 3 levels up and 3 levels down. So you can go +1, +2, +3, -1, -2, -3. And with these tendencies, you can either go all the way up to the max of pure white, or all the way down to the minimum of pure black. And the reason for these existing is because you get punished if you die in your body form. What I mean by that? So, for example, imagine you're on neutral state and you want to get your tendency up to pure white. How do you do that? Simple. You have to vanquish a demon or kill a boss. That's it. Killing a boss which is called vanquishing a demon in this game, is pretty much the main way of getting your world tendency up to pure white. And the way to get it down, how do you might be wondering, is to die in your body form. So if you die in body form in any of the zones, you will go down a point and eventually go into pure black. So imagine, you kill a boss, good job for you. Damn man, I'm proud of you. You killed the boss, it was pretty difficult. But then, a goddamn high-ass dragon comes and burns your ass right afterwards. Because you killed the boss, you got your body back, but then the dragon comes and burns you. Well, tough luck, man. Even though the boss did give you 1 point in terms of tendency and you went to +1, once you died in body form, you lost a point and you went back to neutral and 0. So that's pretty much the main mechanic of how to get him up and get him down. But why do we even do this? Why do we even go to pure white and then pure black? The main reason for this is because of events. What do I mean by this? For example, imagine pure white, imagine neutral, and imagine pure black. A door might be in neutral, a certain door that might be locked. But if you get the world tendency to pure white, the door might suddenly be unlocked, or a certain bridge might appear, or a certain item that was not lootable by you might now be lootable. These do not overlap for the most part. Some doors, for example, can be opened both in pure white and pure black tendencies, but most of them don't overlap. Or even certain NPCs might appear or even invade you based on your pure white, and pure black tendency. As I said, so items, events, certain doors, even bridges, even NPCs talking to you or even invading you. So that's pretty much the event side of the whole pure white and pure black thing. But what about the game difficulty part? So yes, there is a game difficulty part locked into the tendencies. If you get a world's tendency to pure white, that world and its enemies are going to be easier. The enemies will have less health and will do less damage to you. But the downside for all of that is that they will drop less rare items. So if you're trying to farm something, pure white is not the way to go, man. You gotta go pure black. And that's exactly what pure black is, the opposite. Enemies will be harder. The zone will be harder, enemies will have more health and will hit harder, but they will drop more rare stuff. They will increase your chance of getting good items from them. So if you want to farm something, you gotta get it to pure black and go deal with it then. And with that out of the way, we are ready to very quickly talk about the character tendency and then pretty much prepare ourselves for the next video. So character tendency works in the same way. Doing good gets you high up, doing bad gets you down low. But this, unfortunately or fortunately for some people, ties into multiplayer. And how do you change it? You might be wondering. Well, if you want to get it to pure white, you have to be a helping phantom or a white phantom and help someone vanquish a boss in their own world. So if you do that, you will get it all the way up to pure white by doing like a couple of, I would say 6-7 bosses maybe at best. And the PvP side, killing other players and invading them, is going to get your character tendency all the way to pure black. Or you can also pretty much kill innocent NPCs to get your character tendency to pure black. So killing NPCs, and especially innocent NPCs, will get you there very quickly. So that's an alternative path if you want it. But what's the point of this, you might be wondering? What is the benefits of having certain tendencies in character terms? Well, if you are on pure white, you will be stronger as a white phantom, so a helper phantom, and you will be rewarded with Ally's Ring. And that ring further amplifies this effect of you being stronger as a white phantom, and the exact opposite, but at the same time similar thing for pure black. If you get to pure black, you will be stronger as a PvP phantom, as a person who invades others, and you will get Foe's Ring, which will further amplify you being stronger as a black phantom. And both the rings I mentioned, yes, they do come into play when you want to get the King of Rings trophy, and it will eventually play into your Platinum trophy. So keep that in mind. If you are offline, I do want to give you this one tip about tendencies. If you are offline, you can still get your character tendency all the way to pure white, but it is extremely difficult, and I will explain it in the description because I don't want to take more time of this video, since that is a little bit alternative, because most people will have PS Plus and be able to PvP, but if you're not, I will leave a little explanation in the description so you don't have to worry about that. Two last tips that I have to give in this situation is that you always want to get your tendency all the way to pure white and then get it to pure black, because it's just simply easier to go from pure white to pure black and not pure black to pure white. And the second thing is, you might be wondering, what if I keep dying in a world? Am I gonna go to pure black every time? No. As I said, you only have to die in your body form to go to pure black, to go downwards pretty much. And the way to avoid that is that every time you kill a boss, you pretty much get your ass over here and go all the way up those stairs and throw yourself down. If you die in body form in the Nexus, it will not affect tendencies in the worlds that you are worried about. This place does have a tendency meter as far as I know, but it does not affect anything. It pretty much has no special events, it has nothing. It does have a certain character tendency event for pure black and pure white. So character tendency event, sure, this place does have it. But every time you kill a boss, come over here, attempt suicide on yourself, and you go back to soul form, because even if you die in the soul form 1,000 times in a certain zone, no problem, bro. You're good to go. No problem. You can just continue on and keep dying. Nobody cares. So every time you come here, if for a fail-safe and to create your own kind of a safe spot for yourself, come over here after you kill a boss and throw yourself down. That's pretty much it. And with that out of the way, we are pretty much ready to go and continue our journey. One last thing I want to mention about my videos is that they're pretty unscripted. I'm just going through them on my own knowledge. I'm not really following a script, so if I sound like I'm saying weird words sometimes is because I'm talking out of my butt pretty much. At the same time, I do say the word pretty much a lot, so if anybody wants to point that out, I already said that, my dude. I know. You can play a drinking game with the amount of times I say the word pretty much in my videos. But anyway, and with that, I'm ready to close out the video. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video so far, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't you dare go hollow, and peace.